I mean, they present, that they're smaller defenders, but they swarm the ball. You know what I mean? So what looks open may not be open the next second. So it's just a matter of a lot of them are bang bang plays, and it's just finding the moment. When the moment presents itself.
You allowed just 4 passes. Can you get a shot in the game too? Yeah. Transition defense has been excellent. You guys all season long.
Well, it's a multitude of things. Just being aware of who their attackers are and being aware of who their main threats are. Getting back, trying to cut off the paint, as fast as possible, and then obviously scaring the rebound. So a lot of stuff goes into it.
Myles, what puts that early third quarter stretch for you and working with Ty? Can you guys carry that and have more paint pressure next game?
Yeah, I think it's kind of back against the wall mentality. You got to have that tight mentality from the beginning of the game. But it was good just to have that little bit of litmus test there. This time of the year, again, you don't want to look back a few years from now just regretting stuff. So it's a matter of just make stuff happen.
You talked a little bit about the importance of screening and everything when it comes to just getting the ball in the paint. I mean, how critical is overall off the ball action to make sure you guys have some opportunities?
Yeah, just freeing guys up, and again, you just said it, like they swarm the ball so well, have multiple defenders on the ball, so just making our breaks.
Practice on your home court, the NBA Finals logos everywhere. After 10 years, how good is this?
Yeah, it's smooth, man. I think that the city's been waiting for an opportunity like this. I expect a hell of an environment tomorrow. I know what it's going to be, and exciting times just for everybody, just to experience the finals here in Indianapolis.
What's the key adjustment you guys need to make sure you can win a game 3 this week?
We have our adjustments. I can't put them all out there, but just stick to our game plan and just as we go.
Is that part of the conversation? Like, you guys haven't won a game 3. Does that come up in the locker room at all?
That's y'all. That's y'all. That's not us.
Myles, what does the home court do for you?
Just being back. It's good energy, man. Again, being back in front of our home fans is big. I think that being able to stick to your regular routine, sleep in your own bed, get your own meals, all that type of stuff is a big factor. And I think it's going to be important for us to protect our home court.
Myles, James Johnson, what kind of energy and wisdom does he bring to this group?
Man, it's immeasurable. He's someone who he's an ultimate confidence builder. He's someone who's gonna, if you want to get extra shots up, he's gonna be the one that's there. He's got so much experience, obviously, through the years, so he sees stuff where it even happens. I mean, and he can still play. Y'all don't get to see it as much, but he's still playing one-on-one with guys, all the time after practice, and just being that big veteran voice, out there for us, and off the court, whatever you need, he's there. He's been to his house multiple times for dinners, and little stuff like that, adds up.
Rick was talking about everybody needs to do more for game 3. He said that after game 2. How do you assess that, and how do you put that on the floor on tomorrow?
Yeah, he's absolutely right. It wasn't good enough. Our effort wasn't, I think, what it needs to be for the NBA Finals, and we had to, just pick that up tomorrow for game 3.
Myles, the dunk you did on Hartenstein, did you dream about it, or is that something you use after, especially after you lose again?
Not necessarily. It's not the first time I've had a postseason dunk. It's just something that's normal to me. I guess some people have never seen me do that before, so good for them. Welcome to the party. But still, it happened and cut the lead to 19. So it's not like it was anything super special.
How important is it to win game 3 in this series?
Every game's important. You can't look at a game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got to look at it as a one game mentality. So I can't. Yeah, they're all important.
You have faced Shea now 4 times this season. What can you guys do to make it a little more difficult for him?
Yeah, we got to put on display tomorrow. I'm not gonna just put all the secrets out there.
How tough though is he to defend because he's so sneaky with things he does?
Yeah, he's got a good first step. He's obviously great in the pick and roll, dynamic player. So he presents his own challenges.
Challenge to breaking up their connectivity
on defense? There's a lot that goes into it. They really sell out to swarm in the paint. Shot making is huge this time of the year. I think that's going to be an ultimate difference maker. Between game to game. Screening has to be better, and then getting downhill. Just like they only had like 4 or 6 points in the paint in the first half, and it's not our brand of basketball.
How screening? I know they are experts at attacking it, blowing it up. So, what's the challenge of being as precise as you can in terms of the level of the screen and how you want to set it, and how you want to roll off of it?
Yeah. They have unique defenders. Each individual one presents their own challenges. Just not getting offensive fouls is huge. Obviously, being able to line guys up and get a clean hit. Because, you could hit him and he's still able to get back on the guard. So just being able to line him up the right way, guard getting a good setup, and just fundamental stuff,
So it seemed like you had at least a couple kind of rescreen situations. I think once you kind of hit into it twice in the same play. I mean, when you did screen well, what did you like about what you were able to do? Basically, most important that you keep in mind for
Yeah, it's all about creating separation. I think that's the biggest thing. If you get separation from your defender and then, the guy obviously that's on the ball and whatnot, then good things happen.
What does basketball mean in Indiana compared to other states?
Oh man. I think the big thing going around now is in 49 of the states just basketball, but here, man, people live, breathe, and die by this stuff, man. I mean, you go out everywhere, there's gonna be a basketball court, someone's home, whether it's out in the farms and what up the fields or whatnot, there's gonna be a basketball court up there. I mean, people just it's like a religion out here. That's the best way I can describe it. I think that it's immeasurable, but it's something you have to experience in person. They got some of the biggest high school basketball arenas out here, and then college basketball is obviously an amazing scene, but. I think that when you experience, basketball here in this Gainbridge Fieldhouse, it changes your whole perspective.
How have you experienced it personally since being drafted here and spending a decade here? Like, how have you experienced this?
Man, that's all I know at this point. I think that when I go to other arenas or even just other, I don't know, even other states, it just doesn't really compare. It's hard to describe it in person. It's an experience, if anything. And I think that's what Indiana does a good job of doing is providing a basketball experience. So you got to get out here to experience it, man.